There is one law in India that must exist on issues of gender rights, people rights. There has to be one law in our country. You cannot bring in religion and say
religion is different thing.
That we are Muslims and hence we have a right to discriminate against.
No, not discrimination.
The same day, the Law Commission put out a note seeking public opinion on family law reforms. The note makes it very clear that the intention is to end all injustice and discrimination while harmonizing the cultural practices. The move comes after the Law Ministry had asked the panel to examine the issue of UCC implementation.
When the government talks of a common civil code and seeks the opinion of people, it must tell us what is in its mind. It must bring a draft or a white paper before the people so that the people can respond.
In many communities and societies, they have the personal laws. Is it possible to level up the ground and say, no, uniform civil code will apply to everyone? Very easy to say, no doubt. One man, one nation, is a good theory to be achieved. But within that, there are multiple choices in this country.
I am of the opinion that government must try to evolve a wider consensus, taking into consideration the different minority organizations. Therefore, I am opposed to it.
People must not carry an impression that it's an onslaught on their right of following their religion without any disturbance. So the government has to be very careful.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
And on the debate tonight is Sambit, Patra, MR Venkatesh and Rahul Easwar on one side, and Ashok Sinha of the RJD, Mr. Syed, Asim, Waqar of the SP, Tasleem, Ahmed, Rehmani of the Muslim Political Council of India, and John Dayal of the All India Christian Council, the former Secretary General activist, is with us on the program tonight. Welcome to the debate. I don't see why anyone should oppose a uniform civil code. Its time came a long time back, and it needs to be implemented the soonest possible to end discrimination of various kinds that are happening against people in various religions. But what confuses me is this theory, Tasleem Rehmani, that it is anti-Muslim. How is a uniform civil code anti-Muslim? One nation, one law, one nation, one law. This law unifies and brings equality to standards of justice for all Indians, irrespective of religion, caste, creed or gender. How does it become anti-Muslim? You prove to me it's anti-Muslim and I'll give you 10 reasons why it's not. Yes, let's debate on that, please. Yeah.
First of all, I welcome the move that the Law Commission has invited opinions over the one law and one nation, one law, and issued a questionnaire. And in that questionnaire, there is a very positive question on the codification of internal laws. That gives an indication that even the Law Commission is considering on the other side as well. As far as your question is concerned, let me tell you very clearly, Arnab, today that this very notion of one nation, one law is against the mandate of our independence and our constitution. Both the way. This is against the very spirit of idea of India. Because
okay, Emma, no, Mr. Rehmani, no,
as a country,
no, Mr. Rehmani,
as a country,
factually
as a country,
wrong,
where
Mr. Rehmani,
each and every,
factually
each
wrong.
No, not at all.
Mr. Rehmani, it is there in the directive principles.
You read the Constitution again.
Directive principles of the Constitution.
Yes.
No, it is.
It is the guiding principle of. It is. That's why. That's why. It is not the fundamental right. It is only the guiding principle.
Okay, who said?
You
Sir,
go to the
who said
1946
shifting to the
Constitutional
fundamental
Assembly
right?
debate.
Who said
That's why-
it should?
That's why it
Mr.
has been-
Rehmani, Mr. Rehmani, please can I? Mr. Rehmani, MR 1 minute, 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 MR 1 second wait, Mr. Rehmani, listen to me. Now understand this. There are fundamental duties and there are directive principles in the Constitution. Okay, as far as the applicability of the fundamental rights is concerned, there is a certain point to be taken. As far as the intention of the direct, Mr. Rehmani, let me complete my point. Mr. Rehmani, don't teach me the Constitution. The fact of the matter is there is Article 44. There is Article 44. You dodge the question. Viewers, please note Mr. Rehmani dodged my question, but I will correct him anyway on the issue of directive principles. I don't understand why opposing the need for the Uniform Civil Code is actually equal to opposing Article 44 of the directive principles enshrined in the Constitution of India, which quote-unquote seeks implementations of the Uniform Civil Code as a duty of the state. It's a duty of the state. You want to tell me it's anti-constitution. You are wrong, sir. You are wrong. Some pseudo-secular element over the years has given them this spin. The pseudo-secular lot. Sir, the pseudo-secularists. Sir, the pseudo-secularists have misunderstood and deliberately tried. The pseudo-secularists have for a long time tried to misquote the Constitution of India without understanding it.
Set aside forever.
No.
Arnab.
No.
Arnab, 1 minute.
Yes.
Nobody asked Mr. Rehmani to follow the Manusmriti. What is the contours of Uniform Civil Code will be debated. If Mr. Rehmani is able to prove to me his version of Uniform Civil Code is better than mine, I will adopt it. But don't say that there should be no requirement of Uniform Civil Code.
Okay,
No,
okay.
Mr. Sir, please understand.
Okay.
Nobody says that you should, my version is better than your version. But let us have a version. Let
Okay.
us have an Indian version.
All right. Can I?
You cannot.
Okay, so someone prove to me.
Article 14 is the bedrock of secularism, and it is the bedrock which requires us to have Uniform Civil Code.
I'm sorry to break it to you. 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 MR, the debate is open tonight. Viewers, please listen to me. I'm sorry to break it to you, but Tasleem Rehmani, the debate is open today. First of all, I want to prove that the Uniform Civil Code is not anti-Muslim. Mr. Waqar, it's not anti-Muslim. Okay? Because you people want to make it Muslim versus anti-Muslim, Muslim versus non-Muslim.
I'm not of the opinion that it is anti-Muslim.
Can I get other? Can I get anyone? No. One second.
What is your
That's why I
problem?
said that.
No.
What of the Constitution?
All right, gentlemen. Opening it up. Rahul Easwar is back on the debate. Rahul Easwar. Syed Asim Waqar. 1 minute.
I am totally with Rehmani
There must
Saab.
be a debate.
I am totally with Rehmani Saab and our Muslim brothers in understanding their apprehension about Uniform Civil Code. I am totally with our Muslim brothers in understanding their apprehensions. The Hindu community also had similar apprehensions when a Hindu code bill came. But the Dalit Buddhist Ambedkar did the greatest service to Hindu community by coming forward with a Hindu code bill, and that in effect proved good for us. I am of the strong opinion that your apprehensions and inhibitions are understandable. As a religious activist, I am totally with you. But let the Uniform Civil Code draft come out, there will be debate on it, and trust me, it will emotionally and culturally harmonize and integrate. Our Muslim brothers need a very empathetic understanding.
Okay, my next question.
With them, because many people have misled them.
Okay.
Many people have misguided them.
Okay. Next question is to Syed Asim Waqar. Syed Asim Waqar, my next question is even more important. Please listen to it carefully. I am saying that this is opportunistic and hypocritical. One group says that the Uniform Civil Code is anti-Muslim. I just want to ask you, ये जो आप कहते हैं ना कि हमें हमारे रिलीजन के मुताबिक हमारे लॉ को प्रैक्टिस करने दीजिए. Muslims have a right to propagate their religion and hence we have a right for the Sharia law. सवाल आपसे ये है, why do you want to limit it to civil law? Implement it in criminal law also. and if you implement it in criminal law, Mr. Syed Asim Waqar, will you now go ahead and say कि हम मुस्लिम लॉ और मुस्लिम पनिशमेंट करेंगे? क्योंकि जो शरिया लॉ है सऊदी अरेबिया में, अगर क्रिमिनल लॉ में अप्लाई करें तो जो लोग चोरी करते हैं, जो हद ऑफेंसेस करते हैं, उनके हाथ काटे जाएंगे. Will you say mutilate the hands of people under the Had law? 1 minute, Mr. Rehmani, wait. Mr. Rehmani, wait. If you want, my question is very simple. If you want a separate civil law under Sharia, then why don't you adopt criminal law under Sharia too? In Indonesia last year, a man and a woman were beaten up in front of a mosque. मस्जिद के सामने एक आदमी और औरत को इंडोनेशिया में मारा गया पब्लिकली बिकॉज उन दोनों को दे वर सीन टुगेदर इन पब्लिक बट दे वर नॉट मैरिड टू ईच अदर. Therefore, by that logic, you apply that criminal law in India, Mr. Syed Asim Waqar. तो आप क्या
नहीं मैं समझ गया.
आप समझ गए मेरी बात. आपको और एक एग्जांपल दूं. अगर आप सेपरेट लॉ कहते हैं शरिया के नीचे हमें सिविल लॉ चाहिए, तो मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूं सिविल लॉ ही क्यों? आप क्रिमिनल लॉ अप्लाई कीजिए. अगर आप क्रिमिनल लॉ अप्लाई करेंगे तो वन प्रेग्नेंट वुमन वाज सब्जेक्टेड, एक pregnant woman was subjected to 100 lashes before executing her by hanging. A pregnant woman under criminal Sharia law was subject to 100 lashes before being executed by hanging in Sudan because she had married a Christian man. तो फिर आप तस्लीम रहमानी सुनिए, तस्लीम रहमानी आप सिर्फ सिविल लॉ में क्यों? आप क्रिमिनल लॉ में अप्लाई कीजिए या तो प्रूव कीजिए, क्योंकि आपकी आर्गुमेंट हमेशा होती है.
मैं बोल रहा हूं,
आपकी आर्गुमेंट क्या होती है? आपकी आर्गुमेंट होती है मुस्लिम शुड बी अलाउड टू प्रैक्टिस देयर ओन लॉ. विल यू आस्क टू बी प्रैक्टिसिंग दिस लॉ एज वेल?
सर मुझे बोलने तो दीजिए आप. अर्नव जी अब मुझे जवाब देने दीजिए. मैं आपकी बात समझ के थोड़ा समझदार हूं, मुझ पर भरोसा कर सकते हैं आप. देखिए जिस तरह से आपने ये बात कही कि हम क्रिमिनल लॉ के बारे में क्यों नहीं बोलते हैं, तो हिंदुस्तान में जब कभी किसी की बच्ची के साथ बलात्कार होता है तो मैं समझता हूं कि हिंदुस्तान का हर आदमी इस्लामिक कानून की बात ही करता है और वो ये कहता है कि जिसने बलात्कार किया उसको ऐसी सजा दी जाए कि
बिल्कुल नहीं बिल्कुल नहीं. नो मिस्टर वकार, आंसर माय क्वेश्चन.
सुनिए पहले मेरी बात.
माय क्वेश्चन इज वेरी सिंपल.
सुनिए मेरी बात. आपके कहने से कुछ नहीं होता.
मिस्टर वकार
अच्छा ये बता दीजिए कि आप सवाल पूछेंगे 8 मिनट का
नहीं
और जवाब 8 सेकंड का भी नहीं सुनना चाहते हैं.
मैं बस 8 सेकंड का काउंटर क्वेश्चन पूछूं
और सवाल 8 मिनट का पूछते हैं और जवाब देने के लिए आप 8 सेकंड का भी टाइम नहीं देते हैं. तो इस तरह से डिबेट कैसे होगी?
अब सिर्फ ये जानना चाहता हूं आपसे, एक ही सवाल वकार जी आपसे पूछा जा रहा है. सुनिए मेरी बात को, कि आप लोग कहते हैं कि मुसलमानों को मुस्लिम लॉ अप्लाई कीजिए उन पे, तो मुस्लिम क्रिमिनल लॉ भी तो अप्लाई होगा ना. और मुस्लिम क्रिमिनल लॉ में आपको पता है क्या होता है? मुस्लिम क्रिमिनल लॉ में क्या होता है? हाथ काटा जाता है.
मैं भारत सरकार से यहां बैठे सभी लोगों से बात करना चाहता हूं. सर सुन तो लीजिए बात मेरी. मैं हिंदुस्तान के कानून मंत्री से, टाइम्स नाउ के रिस्पेक्टेड अर्नब गोस्वामी से और डिबेट में शिरकत करने वाले सभी लोगों से सवाल पूछता हूं कि जो कॉमन सिविल कोड की बात करते हैं
जी, उनसे
मैं पूछना चाहता हूं कि क्या कॉमन सिविल कोड आप बनाने जा रहे हैं या आप बनाने की बात करते हैं तो क्या आर्टिकल 21, आर्टिकल 25 और 44 को बदला जाएगा या खत्म किया जाएगा? हिंदुस्तान में अकेला धर्म नहीं रहता है. हिंदुस्तान कई धर्मों का मुल्क है और हर धर्म को अपने तरीके से अपनी जिंदगी जीने का अधिकार दिया है हिंदुस्तान के संविधान ने. हमारे यहाँ जब बच्चा पैदा होता है तो हम जब उसकी आगे कुछ फंक्शन करते हैं तो वो हमारा धार्मिक अधिकार है. हमारे के जो शादियां होती हैं
वेंकटेश इज रिस्पोंडिंग,
सरदारों में भी होती हैं, जैनों में भी होती हैं.
भाई साहब आप पहले बोलिए कि
ये हमारा धार्मिक अधिकार है.
अपने महिलाओं के प्रति आर्टिकल 14
मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूं
क्या
आप हमारा
14 पर चर्चा करेंगे कि नहीं करेंगे? आप
हमारी महिलाओं की फिक्र मत कीजिए.
महिलाओं आपके महिलाओं पर
आप हमारी महिलाओं की
तो इतना बोलिए कि पॉलीगैमी को 100 साल से
आप आपके महिलाओं के प्रति जो कुछ भी आर्टिकल 14 को लागू नहीं होता उस पर आप चर्चा महिलाएं चर्चा करेंगे।
मुझे इस बात को कहने में कोई जरूरत नहीं
राजी होना
है। मैं फख्र महसूस करता हूं।
देखिए जनतंत्र में चर्चा होनी चाहिए, चर्चा से ही सब कुछ होता है। आप चर्चा से क्यों इनकार करते हैं? चर्चा से क्यों डरते हैं? आप चर्चा से क्यों डरते हैं? आप इतने डरपोक हैं कि आप चर्चा से भागते हैं। आपको चर्चा करनी चाहिए।
पहुंचाया है।
देखिए आपके महिलाओं के प्रति इतना षड्यंत्र हो रहा है, आपको पहले बोलना चाहिए कि हमारे महिलाओं के
I want to ask out here one second. Is it about now John Dayal, Sambit, Patra, Professor Ashok Sinha. John Dayal, Sambit, Patra and Professor Ashok Sinha, please on the screen. Thank you. Can I just ask you a simple question here? Simple question. See John Dayal, what have we proven today? We've proven the hypocrisy of what's going on, this debate over the Uniform Civil Code. Either people don't understand it is part of what is written in the Constitution, or a section of pseudo-secularists have tried to confuse the situation. Now, if this is not about pseudo-secularists, and if pseudo-secularists have a good argument here, what do they argue, John Dayal? They say it's anti-Muslim, it's anti-minority. No. Now, John Dayal, suppose these people were to be told, okay, we accept it is anti-minority. And hence, not only will we give the Muslims in this country full right to have their own laws, but we will give them the right to have their own laws not just in the civil space, but also in the criminal space. Right? Because if the Sharia is to be the basis of ruling the lives of Muslims in India, then the Sharia must logically be applied. Tasleem, Rehmani, don't shout at me. Don't shout at me. Then the Sharia must also be applied, Tasleem Rehmani, for criminal law. You don't have an answer to my question tonight. Then Tasleem Rehmani, will you go ahead and advocate punishments like being imprisoned and flogged with 90 lashes for starring in a banned film as was done in Iran on the basis of the Sharia? Will you go ahead and advocate punishments like publicly flogging women for indecent dressing, like in the case of Sudan, who flog women based on what religious laws like Sharia dictate? Will you go ahead and advocate punishments like publicly lashing men and women for homosexuality, like in the case of the Nigerian man who received 20 lashes after he violated the Sharia law in the country against same-sex marriage or activity? Will you also say that a pregnant woman should be executed after being subject to 100 lashes, as was done in Sudan because a Muslim woman had married a Christian man? Mr. Tasleem Rehmani, this is India. We are a secular country. You prove to me today. I am not misquoting. People like you come on television and say that the Uniform Civil Code is anti-Muslim. So prove to me tonight why you are not willing to apply, why you want to limit it only to civil issues, and why you don't want to take it to issues of criminal law as well. You prove that to me tonight, Mr. Tasleem Rehmani. If you want a separate civil law under Sharia, you tell the viewers of the Newshour tonight why you don't want a separate criminal law under Sharia, Mr. Rehmani. Why don't you want a criminal law under Sharia?
We welcome that move.
Oh, you welcome the move as well. Fantastic. So you want criminal law under Sharia. So by that logic, Mr. Rehmani, Mr. Rehmani, listen to me. Here's my question to you. By that logic, Mr. Rehmani, and just take a deep breath. By that logic, Mr. Rehmani, you are saying that in India, Muslims, right, should be subject to lashing, executions, and if a Muslim woman is seen with a Christian man, the woman should be subject to 100 lashes and then maybe even executed if she marries the Christian man, because you'll say that this is Sharia law. And you are going to come then on television, Mr. Tasleem Rehmani, and say, Arnab, if you are going to be questioning it, you are communal and I am secular. You want to take it that far.
You are not debating the actual issue.
I am debating exactly the issue.
By suggesting such a law.
I am debating exactly the issue. Please explain. I have actually uncovered your hypocrisy tonight.
Uniform Civil Code. debate is not about uniform criminal
You are the
code.
people who say
But
Sharia,
the
right?
whole
When you say,
debate is-
when you
and the
say,
Article 44 is about the
Rehmani,
civil code,
Mr.
not
Rehmani,
about
when you say
criminal
Muslim
law.
personal law, when you say Muslim personal law, you are the ones who refer to the
Personal
Sharia,
law is a
right?
civil law.
You refer to the
Personal
Sharia.
law is a
Do you
civil
refer
law.
to the Sharia?
It's not a criminal law.
Do you refer to the Sharia under the Muslim personal law?
Yes, there are.
Then
two
why don't you
parts.
refer to the Sharia under criminal law?
Act and the civil
Why
law,
don't you
both are
refer to the
different.
Sharia under the
Both
criminal
are
law?
different. Even a student
Why
of law
then why don't you refer to Sharia under criminal law? You know, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because you want to oppress
said
your
the
women.
criminal-
You want to
criminal
maintain
procedure act is
chauvinism.
quite different.
You want to maintain gender divide. And you want to use religion to justify it.
Not at all.
Yes, that's the
Not
point.
at all.
That's the point. That is the only point tonight. Sambit Patra is on the debate tonight. Sambit Patra is on the debate. Sambit is on. Sambit and John Dayal will come in after that. John Dayal after Sambit. Yes,
We
please.
need that the Quranic.
Sambit.
Mr. Rehmani and Mr. Waqar, I don't want to shout. आज मैं लड़ना बिल्कुल नहीं चाहता हूँ. This is a very serious issue, and we will present a very wrong picture when mature politicians like you and me shout on such a sincere and such a sensitive issue. Let's calm down and let's debate it point by point. That's what the government is saying. We will debate with all the stakeholders. So for God's sake, the UCC has not been released that we are fighting like this. It's a debatable topic. The draft would be ready and only then we will debate. Then we would come with the conclusion. Number one, I mean, when Mr. Rehmani, you pointed out the fact that, well, it was in fact contradicting the constitution of the India after independence if UCC, that is Uniform Civil Code, is brought. My humble submission would be the Supreme Court of the country knows the constitution better than you and me. I believe you would agree to this. The Supreme Court on 4 different occasions has castigated the various governments of the day, saying that why the governments have not in fact brought up the UCC, that is Uniform Civil Code. And I would just quote one line as to what the Supreme Court had said during Sahabano case. I quote, I state, quote, it regrets.
I know that. There are 8 such occasions.
Please don't.
Not just for.
You know everything, but I have to correct you.
Only because there is a directive principle.
I heard you for half an hour, Mr. Rehmani. I heard you for half an hour. I heard you for half an hour.
Viewers, I'm inviting a public debate on the subject, and I'm making an appeal to the viewers of the Newshour tonight that the hashtag tonight is One Nation, One Law. You can tell us where you stand on it, and I'm going to take your opinions on the bottom part of the screen. This is the start of a momentous debate in this country. The first step towards a much needed uniform civil code. This is the much needed uniform civil code. I openly am saying tonight that a uniform civil code is in the interest of this country and every Indian will benefit from it. Sambit, John Dayal is on the debate.
The Supreme Court had to say, it regrets that Article 44 of the Constitution has remained a dead letter, and here all of us are busy murdering it further. And John Dayal, I hope you believe on the words of none other than the father of the Constitution of India, that is Ambedkar. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has to say this for Uniform Civil Code before you break that pencil.
I've read Dr. Ambedkar.
Dayal, please hear me out.
I have read him.
Hear me out what John Dayal had to, what B.R. Ambedkar had to say.
I have read it.
Place down that pencil.
I have read it.
Listen to what Mr. Ambedkar had to say.
No, but I've read it and you have read it.
Listen to what Mr. Ambedkar had to say about Uniform Civil Code. I
have
quote,
heard him.
I personally do not understand why religion should be given this vast.
I have read it.
Sir, this is not for you. This is for the people of the country. I'm informing the people of the country as to what the founding father of the Constitution had to say about religion. Thank you, sir. I personally do not understand why religion should be given this vast, expansive jurisdiction so as to cover the whole of life and to prevent the legislature from encroaching upon that field. After all, what are we having this liberty for? We are having this liberty in order to reform our social system, which is so full of inequality,
even after this court, Ambedkar,
conflicts our fundamental rights, unquote. This is B.R. Ambedkar, sir. This is B.R. Ambedkar.
Even with Dr. Ambedkar, this contention, it could not be included in
Don't try and confuse it, Tasleem Rehmani. Tasleem Rehmani, first point tonight, viewers, 1 second, viewers, 1 minute.
The second quoting of B.R. Ambedkar.
1 second, Sambit, wait. This is a very interesting debate that's going on tonight, and I must say tonight, I'm receiving a terrific response from many of our viewers, and I'm openly saying that I am completely for the implementation of a uniform civil code that will unify and bring equality to all. No, to you now, John Dayal.
Yeah.
John Dayal.
I have two small points. I have two small points to make.
Go on.
Please, for heaven's sake, don't rub the faces of the Muslims into the mud.
It's not a Muslim-Hindu issue. It's not. You want to make it a Muslim-Hindu issue. You want to make it. You want to make it a Muslim-Hindu issue, John Dayal. You are the people who want to make it communal. You are the people who want to make it communal. It's about equality. Mr. John Dayal, I'll have to take you on. I'll have to take you on. Mr. John Dayal, it's not a Hindu-Muslim issue. You don't know the facts. You don't know anything. You don't know anything about this subject, Mr. John Dayal. I'm sorry. Sambit Patra, wait. Sambit Patra, wait. MR will come into the debate, but I request you, John Dayal, listen, go into the problem. John Dayal, an observation, please.
On this.
John Dayal, an observation.
Dialogue with
John Dayal.
Mr. John.
No. Watch it. John Dayal, question for you.
We are welcoming the Law Commission for at last opening up forum for a discussion.
Okay. John Dayal, I want to say something to you. Mr. Dayal. Mr. Dayal.
20 years that we are allowed to speak.
Great. Mr. John Dayal, sometimes I think that you will go to the US Congress and say that for many decades we were not even, you'll tell the Americans, you'll tell them, you know what, Mr. Obama, in my country I'm not even allowed to breathe. In my country minorities are not allowed to drink water. We are not allowed to eat.
Mrs. Clinton.
Please save us, Donald Trump.
Next time, Mrs. Clinton.
You'll say, save us, Donald Trump.
No.
That's what you're going to say next. Now, anyway, going back to the subject tonight. Going back to the subject tonight.
John Dayal,
Let's go to the substantive point. The problem. Rahul Easwar, a minute. Can I make a point? Okay, Rahul Easwar to John Dayal. Rahul Easwar to John Dayal. What do you? Rahul Easwar, listen.
John Dayal, one humble submission. I partially concede your point in one thing. Maybe a micro minority of some ultra right-wing hardliners may have used UCC in the past. Like RSS Sarsang Chalak said, that's a negative way of looking at it. Right now, there is nothing to suggest the present government has any wrong intention. From Modi ji to Sambit Patra has been very inclusive in their approach.
Okay. I think you're being Rahul Easwar, you are being unnecessarily apologetic tonight. So please listen to me. Rahul Easwar, 1 minute, John Dayal.
I'm being sensitive.
No, I don't.
I'm being sensitive.
Rahul Easwar, wait. Just wait a while. You see, the problem is, John Dayal, what is the problem with pseudo-secularists in India?
Don't mute my mic.
I don't know what's wrong with nobody's muting you. Miss John Dayal, can I without wasting any time and I request everyone to listen to me for a minute, please. You know the problem with pseudo secularists in this country is this. Sambit, wait. The problem with pseudo secularists in this country, the problem with pseudo secularists in India is that they often are also very superficial. The problem with pseudo secularists in India, they don't read issues in depth. John Dayal, please don't shout. And if they knew, the problem is, you see, this is the standard Lutyens cocktail circuit which is dominating the pseudo-secularists. They don't look into issues in detail ever. They don't research. They don't try and find out. They don't read the constitution.
Bombay. You are from the Bombay.
Can I ask a question?
Okay. No. Sambit, wait. Ashok Sinha. Wait a minute. I have a question. I have three questions. Time for a rapid fire on Newshour tonight, viewers. Time for a rapid fire on Newshour tonight. Rahul Easwar, wait. Wait. Rapid fire on Newshour, 3 questions. First question.
Are you a secularist? Arnab, are you a secularist? I addressed all of the country's secularist. Only the BJP people are secular.
Mr. Rehmani,
and every other person.
Mr. Rehmani, do you know the 3 people who first proposed the uniform code on 23rd November 1949? Mr. Rehmani, do you know the names of the 3 people, the 3 legislators who first proposed uniform civil code? If you name the 3 people, I will concede defeat tonight. If you name these 3 people who in fact first brought uniform civil code as a matter of discussion on the floor of Constituent Assembly on 23rd November 1949, 1949. I will concede defeat here and now. Name these three people. I will name it for you. Mehboob Ali Beg, Muhammad Islam, Nasruddin Ahmed. Please learn from these people. These three people, Mehboob Ali Beg.
Don't try to teach me.
Muhammad Islam. No,
I have read the whole debate of this Article 35. Those days,
did these people try to demean Islam in any way? They were staunch followers of Islam, sir. These three legislators.
Sambit, can I? Sambit, stop. I now need to ask three questions tonight. Tasleem Rehmani, my three questions. First question will go to Ashok Sinha. Second question will go to John Dayal. And third question will go to you. Wait a while. Question number one. And viewers, just listen to me. Just give me 10 seconds and don't speak. What is the problem? The problem is that the pseudo-secular lobby has successfully made this issue about a Muslim versus non-Muslim, majority versus minority issue. In that context, I want to ask you, Ashok Sinha, there is a Hindu Marriage Act 1955 which will be impacted with the coming of the Uniform Civil Code. In other words, after the Uniform Civil Code comes, the Hindu Marriage Act 1955 will not exist. Therefore, by that logic, people should complain that the Uniform Civil Code is anti-Hindu. You understand what I'm saying?
So will be in the Hindu.
No, one second, wait. Ashok Sinha?
No.
Jawab hai?
Or no?
No, Ashok Sinha.
What we find, what we mean, what is in the public domain for this common civil code is regarding the women, Muslim women. This is the common perception all over the country.
Yes, and what's wrong?
Why don't we come out with a white paper?
What is wrong?
Why this government doesn't come out with one white paper, and in which the government emphasizes that following are the drawbacks of Hindus, Muslims and other communities, and let all the communities separately decide.
Communities will never decide.
Form of common civil code.
What kind of argument is that?
What is this?
But
that means the constitution
15%, 16% of the Muslims
that means the constitution
should not be repressed. Their opinions should be taken.
No.
And what we mean by personal law here in India,
Professor Sinha?
What we mean by personal law in India, it is not like any Arab country. The personal law,
Sinha,
which is in India, is the evolved form,
right now,
which is due to interaction with democratic India, scientific India, and technological India.
What are you saying?
So let the Muslim decide what will be their view on religious practices.
One second. Just a minute. No. MR is on the debate. 1 minute.
These are the things which
MR and John Dayal. I have a couple of other questions here. MR, wait a while. John Dayal, just look at this issue in a little bit of detail. Forget all this unnecessary display of anger.
No, I will not go on this. Come on.
There is a Hindu Succession Act which will be impacted with the coming of the Uniform Civil Code, which means the Hindu Succession Act will not exist. By that logic, all Hindus should say that the Uniform Civil Code is anti-Hindu. There is an Indian Christian Marriage Act of 1872. 1872 Indian Christian Marriage Act, which will be impacted with the coming of the Uniform Civil Code. So people like you will say it's anti-Christian. Let's go back to 1850.
No, but
you want to go back to 1850? You want to go back to the laws set in 1872? I'm sorry, what is all this being made about the Uniform Civil Code being about against religion? Counter me factually. You people have carried out this lie. This lie has been put out. You people like you are against the Uniform Civil Code. When I say people like you, I mean people who are against the Uniform Civil Code. You people have gone ahead and said the Uniform Civil Code is about majoritarian politics. It's not. It's about logic. It's about what is right for India. It's about being progressive. Now, John Dayal, there I got you now.
No.
If the Uniform Civil Code was to come to India...
You are trying to convince yourself. You are trying to convince yourself. Look at you scream.
John Dayal...
Look at yourself.
Okay, John Dayal, hear me.
You are trying to convince yourself.
No.
I'm
trying to...
a Uniform Civil Code which has a consensus of all the people. And for the first time,
all Indians must
the
agree.
Law Commission is opening a door.
All Indians must agree on it.
For us to present.
All Indians must agree on it?
The Law Commission on 20 years. For the first time.
John Dayal, Mr. Dayal.
Let us work on it.
Mr. Dayal, Mr. Dayal, forget the display of anger, Mr. Dayal. Here's a factual point here. I'll tell you what your problem is. You have a problem. I'll tell you, you have a problem now.
You are in love with yourself.
No, Mr. Dayal, I'm not. Mr. Dayal, listen to me. The question is, if the Uniform Civil Code was to come to India, no longer will there be a situation where a Christian couple will have to wait for 2 years to file divorce by mutual consent.
That is
because they will be on the same plane as couples of other religions who just have to wait for 1 year. By that logic, is the Uniform Civil Code anti-Christian?
No.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Arnab sir. Mr. Arnab sir.
Yeah.
What frightens
important
us
aspect of
is
approach in
the
this.
venom with which you have imposed the beef code.
Drama.
With which you are trying to impose other things.
What venom?
A collective environment. How would you bring in the beef code?
John Dayal, listen to me.
You are scaring these people.
John Dayal,
you are scaring these people with your rhetoric. You are scaring the people with your rhetoric.
Mr. John Dayal, I feel that on this debate,
your rhetoric.
Mr. Dayal, on this debate, there's only one person indulging in rhetoric, and that distinction goes to you. Mr. Dayal, I just want to make my point here. Mr. Dayal, I believe in two things about this country, and what's great about this country is merit and progressive thought.
That's about all.
Mr. Dayal, 7 minutes on the debate.
You do not believe in
7 minutes on the debate, Mr. Dayal. Mr. Dayal has not been able to answer once factually tonight. Mr. Dayal, if the Uniform Civil Code is brought in, an unwed Christian woman will no longer have to wait to obtain consent from a child's father via notice before applying for guardianship of a child. A Christian woman will be at par with, for example, a Hindu unwed woman who is considered to be a natural guardian of a child and requires no consent. So by your logic, since the Guardians and Wards Act will be done away with because of the Uniform Civil Code, does it become anti-Christian?
I am applauding.
Does it become
applauding? It is not anti-Christian. It is not anti-Christian. I'm applauding that.
Very good.
Any law
Goa has Uniform Civil Code.
Okay.
No, Mr. John Dayal, are you aware of the fact that Goa already has Uniform Civil Code?
Any law.
So are there any problems in Goa as far as minorities are concerned? There's no problem in Goa as far as minority rights are concerned. So please don't spread canards over here. And please, I'm going to quote just Baba Sahib Ambedkar. This is what Baba Sahib Ambedkar had to say in the Constituent Assembly. Till 1937, the Muslims were governed by the Hindu law. Did that hurt the Islamic sentiment? No. And the Muslim law is not beyond change. Baba Sahib Ambedkar. Till 1937, Muslims in India were governed by the Hindu law. Did it in any way hurt the Sharia? No. So in fact, reforms are always possible, and I agree with you.
Who's winning this debate tonight? I put that question.
As far as consensus is concerned, there should be a consensus.
Okay.
The government wants consensus.
That's why this
Mr. Rehmani, question for you. Can I ask you a question now? It's your turn, Mr. Rehmani. Mr. Rehmani, your turn. I have a question for you now. Will you listen to me? Will you listen to me? You know, the problem is, I come with facts. Unfortunately, people like John Dayal, don't shout at me like that. You're a very senior man. You want to shout at me like that? Yes, Mr. Okay, I'll take you on it.
You can go to
first of all, Arnab, I have
no, Mr. John Dayal.
Hindu code bill. Like the Jawaharlal Nehru has tried a Hindu code bill.
I am asking the viewer tonight.
Why the government of India never tried that there must be a Muslim code bill?
They can't.
Like the Hindu Code Bill Jawaharlal Nehru pursued in 1950 to 1955 with Mr. Rajendra
M.R.
Prasad
Venkatesh.
and Vittalbhai Patel was
MRV.
against it, and they pursued it. Why the government did not take an initiative to come out with a Muslim Code Bill?
We cannot roll back the clock and go to 1955.
This was the duty
We
of
have
the
to move
government.
forward.
We did not.
Now we will move forward by having a uniform civil code, which is the bedrock of Article 14. Article 14 makes it imperative that you should be treated the same way I should be treated. And what is wrong with having a uniform civil code, sir? You have not made one statement against uniform civil code as to why we should not have it. Now tell me why we should not have it. Because it will treat your women on par with Christian women, on par with Hindu women, on par with Muslim, Sikh women. All these women will be treated equally. And the problem is you don't want to treat your women equally. The problem is you want polygamy, sir. Tell it openly. Tell it openly as what the Muslim Personal Law Board said, that it wanted polygamy to prevent the most obnoxious of arguments, that polygamy prevents rape. Are you aware that stupid argument made by the Muslim Personal Law Board, that they said polygamy will prevent rape, and that is why we want polygamy? Can you ever understand what is that you people, the Muslim elite is talking?
I think it's high time.
Please
Tasleem Rehmani, Tasleem Rehmani, 1 minute. Just 1 minute.
The nation has moved forward.
1 minute.
And all of us, all the youngsters,
MRV, wait. MRV, take a break. MRV, wait. MR Venkatesh, wait. And the question is to Tasleem Rehmani. I want the progressive Indians in this country to come out and take a stand against discriminatory laws, and I don't think it is secular. I don't think it is secular to support triple talaq. I don't think it is secular.
Rehmani,
1 minute, Sambit, wait. Sambit, a while.
Yes. I don't support triple talaq in one sitting.
Okay.
I don't support triple talaq in one sitting. I support the polygamy.
Triple talaq is a different issue. This is a different issue. Let's not mix issues. My only suggestion is those who say that Sharia laws in fact would be defaced by this. My humble submission is I will name 10 countries, 10 Islamic countries I am going to name which have modified the Sharia laws and have
Sambit, I have a question. I have a question. Syed Asim Waqar, Mr. Waqar and Tasleem Rehmani, आप दोनों को मेरा सवाल है, आप रुक जाइए. Both on both sides, let me take both on together. Tasleem Rehmani, Syed Asim Waqar ji, अरे रहमानी जी रुकिए प्लीज, दूसरों को बोलने दें.
जवाब नहीं दे रहा है, आप उसे बिल्कुल इग्नोर किए हुए हैं.
मिस्टर
तरीका नहीं है.
मिस्टर वकार, आपसे सवाल है. मिस्टर वकार, आपसे सवाल है. रहमानी जी ब्रेक दे तभी तो मैं सवाल पूछूंगा. रहमानी जी ब्रेक दीजिए, वकार जी को सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ. वकार जी सवाल है, सवाल सुनिए. Mr. Waqar, today tell me, किस उम्र के बाद, right, a Muslim girl can be married as per your Muslim personal law? कितनी उम्र में आप शादी करा सकते हैं?
इस सवाल का इस डिबेट से क्या ताल्लुक है?
अरे भाई जनाब, आप देखिए, आप रुकिए, आप पहले तस्लीम रहमानी देखिए, मेरे सवाल का रेलेवेंस है. तस्लीम रहमानी, चिल्लाने से कुछ नहीं होगा तस्लीम रहमानी, क्योंकि मेरे सवाल का रेलेवेंस है, क्योंकि मुस्लिम पर्सनल लॉ शरिया एप्लीकेशन एक्ट 1937 इन सेक्शन 2 आप घबराते हैं जवाब से, क्योंकि आपका इस सवाल का जवाब एक है. एक सवाल का, तस्लीम रहमानी रनिंग कमेंट्री मत दीजिए. तस्लीम रहमानी 2 मिनट रुकिए, रनिंग कमेंट्री मत दीजिए, 2 मिनट रुक जाइए प्लीज, आई रिक्वेस्ट यू. बात ये है,
उससे आप जवाब लें इस बात.
नहीं, दिस इज द इशू. 1 मिनट वकार जी रुक जाइए, 1 मिनट. सवाल क्या था? सवाल था कि किस उम्र में आप एक मुस्लिम लड़की की शादी करा सकते हैं एज पर लॉ. उस पर तस्लीम रहमानी ने कहा, आप दोनों ने जवाब नहीं दिया. फिर तस्लीम रहमानी का इस सवाल का रेलेवेंस क्या है? रेलेवेंस तो यही है कि मुस्लिम पर्सनल लॉ शरिया एप्लीकेशन एक्ट 1937. अरे भाई, जब मैं कुछ बोल देता हूं उसके बाद जवाब दीजिए. मुस्लिम पर्सनल लॉ शरिया एप्लीकेशन एक्ट 1937 सेक्शन 2 में कहती है कि 15 साल के बाद आप लड़की की शादी करा दीजिए. इस देश में 2016 में 15 साल की लड़की 15 साल की लड़की कोई क्लास 8 क्लास 9 में पढ़ने वाली लड़की की शादी करा दे? आप चाहते हैं कि इस देश में अलाउड हो? बिल्कुल अलाउ नहीं होगा। आप 15 साल की लड़की की शादी नहीं करा सकते। और आप कहिए ये किस लॉ में अलाउ होता है? जॉन दयाल, why are you shouting at me now? John Dayal, what's the point in shouting at me now?
Crude form of
राजस्थान में क्या हो रहा है?
John Dayal, what's the point in shouting at me now? चिल्लाइए, चिल्लाइए। I want pseudo secularists to come out and talk about this. Pseudo secularists, if you are watching, pseudo secularists, if you are watching, please tell me. Pseudo secularists, if you are watching, please tell me why I should not force and want and fight and say that all these laws which allow any girl to be married on at the age of 15 to support that is not secularism, it is pseudo secularism, and I am against that form of pseudo secularism that allows such abject discrimination in the name of some personal law. John Dayal, John Dayal,
Ask the Prime Minister to set the
Muslims don't.
John Dayal,
child marriage
John
in that
Dayal,
state.
John Dayal,
Rajasthan is
John
full of child
Dayal,
marriages.
John Dayal. Now my question is, Mr. Waqar,
Arnab,
Mr. Waqar, ये how many how many Mr. Waqar, ये 21वीं सदी है। 21वीं सदी में आप मुझे ये बताइए कि जो हिंदू औरत है, हिंदू औरत को कोई पॉलीगैमी में फोर्स नहीं कर सकता, पॉलीगैमस मैरिज में। आप ये बताइए कि मुस्लिम महिलाओं के खिलाफ इस तरह की नाइंसाफी क्यों होती है कि जो मुस्लिम पर्सनल लॉ शरिया एप्लीकेशन एक्ट 1937 है, उसमें कहा गया है कि एक आदमी के 4 बीवियां हो सकती हैं, जबकि बाइगैमी और पॉलीगैमी पनिशेबल है एज पर सेक्शन 17 ऑफ द हिंदू मैरिज एक्ट 1955। तो हिंदू औरतों को लॉ सपोर्ट करती है कि कोई भी आपके अगर शौहर या आपके हस्बैंड जी अगर आपसे और 2-3 और शादी करे तो आप उनको जेल में ले जा सकते हैं, मगर मुस्लिम महिलाओं को यह हक नहीं है। क्यों नहीं है? ये 21वीं सदी है। आप किस जमाने में ले जाना चाहते हैं देश को? और इसको आप और इन सब चीजों को आप सेक्युलरिज्म के नाम पर डिफेंड करना चाहते हैं?
क्या ऐसा कानून है? सुनिए पहले मेरी बात आप।
जी जी,
अरे मेरी बात तो सुन लीजिए।
बात तो सुन रहा हूं, जवाब नहीं है आपके पास आज।
आप जवाब नहीं सुनते हैं।
जवाब है ही नहीं आपके पास।
पर आ जाऊंगा तो यहाँ से मैं नाम लेने पर आ जाऊंगा तो यहाँ से कुर्सी छोड़कर भाग जाएंगे आप। कितने लोगों की कितनी शादियां हैं, ऊपर से लेकर नीचे तक।
मैं आपको कानून के बारे में बोल रहा हूं। आप बेकार की धमकी मत दीजिए प्रोग्राम पर। नहीं, बेकार की धमकी मत दीजिए। आप कानून के बारे में आपको बोल रहा हूं, सीरियस डिबेट कर रहा हूं आपसे वकार जी।
सुनिए सर, मैं भी सीरियस हूं,
लग नहीं रहा है।
सीरियस हूं। देखिए यहां बहस हो रही थी कॉमन सिविल कोड और पर्सनल लॉ पर। अगर अमेरिका में या इंग्लैंड में यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड होना चाहिए कि नहीं होना चाहिए करता है, किसी पर हम व्यक्तिगत रूप पर काहे को आप इल्जाम लगा रहे हो, उसे बोलते हैं पर्सनल लॉ। वहां किसी भी दूसरे मुल्क में किसी हिंदू के खिलाफ, किसी मुसलमान के खिलाफ, किसी सिख के खिलाफ कोई मुल्क ऐसा नहीं है जो वहां ये कह दे कि साहब मेरे हिसाब से शादी कीजिए और मेरे हिसाब से तलाक दीजिए। सिर्फ हिंदू
फिर से गलत।
सर हम सरकार की बात कर रहे हैं, कानून की बात कर रहे हैं। आपको समझ में हो जाना चाहिए कि पॉलीगैमी हिंदू मैरिज एक्ट प्रोटेक्ट्स द हिंदू women, whereas the Sharia law, whichever is your personal law, is not protecting the Muslim women. And that is the cause of so much of the problem of the Muslim women. So that is why we are asking that a uniform civil code that is bedrock on Article 14 should be legislated and brought into action so that the Muslim woman will be protected. We are asking for the protection of the weakest of all minorities. The Muslim woman is the most weak, the most tortured, the most
John Dayal is on the debate.
So we are asking that it should be done. Why are you against your own community women? You must be equality to come out and say that we must protect the Muslim women. Why are you not championing their cause? Why are you shying away? What is your problem in
All
protecting
women
the
have to be
Muslim women?
protected.
Tell me
All
that.
women
Why
have to
are
be
you
protected.
not protecting
All
the Muslim
women have to be
women?
protected.
Why are you against
All
the Muslim
women have to
women?
be protected.
Why are you against
All
the Muslim
women have to
women?
be
Why are you
protected.
exploiting the Muslim women?
All women have
Why
to be
are you
protected.
exploiting
All
the
women have
weakest
to
of
be
the lot?
protected.
Why is it that
All
the women
women have to
of
be
the
protected.
minority
All
community
women have
are
to be
always
protected.
exploited by
All
the men
women
of
have
the
to be
minority
John
community?
Dayal.
Why is it that these
John
type
Dayal,
of people
John
are
Dayal.
creating this pseudo
John Dayal,
All
trying
women
to exploit the
have to
women?
be protected.
Yeah, John Dayal.
All women have to
Question
be
for you, last question.
Then why is it that you are not championing their
question for
cause,
John
John?
Dayal.
John, you
All
are
women-
chickening
Last
away.
question for John Dayal.
Protecting the weakest.
John Dayal, John Dayal,
Chicken away.
John
Today
Dayal.
is the moment of reckoning.
John Dayal,
Come out and say,
John,
support
MR, I think,
Don't chicken away, John.
I think, John
Don't
Dayal,
chicken away.
John Dayal,
Stand up and like a
John
bold
Dayal,
man, say
John
that
Dayal.
you want uniform
Are you
civil
saying
code.
Hindu women
Don't chicken away.
John Dayal, MR, one second. MR, last point tonight, viewers, and this is the most important, interesting point. Countries like the United States of America have committees where people like John Dayal go and say that Indians don't have religious freedom. I want John Dayal to tell me
I
whether
can't eat beef.
I want John Dayal to tell me whether in the United States of America Sharia law applies for civil laws.
The United States of America.
Now there. No. Does the Sharia law apply in the United States of America? Does it apply in the United States of America? Why does the United States of America by that law discriminate against Muslims? Answer me tonight.
Your first stop of
Answer me tonight. You're stumped.
Go to America. Now you are chickening out.
So, I thank you all. Viewers, one big step towards the Uniform Civil Code. I say, high time. Enough pseudo-secularism. One nation, one law. The time has come. Thank you for joining me on debate number 1, 2 on the Newshour tonight. Thank you.